All right, let's talk about en route planning. What are preferred routes and where can they be found? Preferred routes are those established between busier airports to increase system efficiency and capacity. Preferred routes are listed in the chart supplement. What are en route low altitude charts? These are your en route low altitude charts. En route low altitude charts provide aeronautical information for navigation under IFR conditions below 18,000 feet MSL. They're revised every 56 days. All courses are magnetic, so you don't have to make those corrections. And distances are nautical miles. All right, the high altitude charts. What are en route high altitude charts? En route high altitude charts are designed for navigation at or above 18,000 feet, at or above 18,000 feet MSL. This 4-color chart series includes the jet route structure. So that's VHF nav aids with frequency, identification, channel, geographic coordinates, selected airports, reporting points, and they're revised every 56 days. What are area charts? Area charts show congested terminal areas like Dallas-Fort Worth or Atlanta at a large scale. It's just a zoom in of a particular area. They are included with subscriptions to any conterminous US set low, that's full set, east or west sets, and they are also revised every 56 days. Where can updated information be obtained about changes to aeronautical charts that occurred between the chart publication dates? All right, so the Chart Supplement US provides a means for pilots to update visual charts between edition dates. The Chart Supplement US is published, here we go again, every 56 days, while sectional aeronautical and VFR terminal area charts are generally revised every 6 months. What other useful information can be found in the Chart Supplement US which might be helpful in your en route planning? All right, so you're going to look for special notices like prohibited areas, aerobatic and glider practice areas, noise abatement, stuff like that. ARTCCs, low and high altitude transmitter site frequencies, FSS frequencies, flight service station frequencies, routes and waypoints, low and high altitude preferred routes, VFR waypoints, GPS Q routes, VOR receiver checkpoints and VOTs, and aeronautical chart bulletins. How does a pilot determine the type and status of an instrument approach light system at the destination airport? So you're looking for, what are you going to see when you arrive at the airport in terms of, is it a mouser or something else? Type and also its status. Is it operational? The pilot should check the Chart Supplement US and any NOTAMs to determine the availability and status of lighting systems, light intensities, and radio-controlled light system frequencies. So in other words, are you clicking your microphone in order to turn on the lighting system? An FSS briefer will also have access to any recent changes in the status of airport lighting systems. It would be helpful if you were prepared on your check ride to determine and explain the type and status of airport runway lighting and approach light systems at your departure, destination, and alternate airports. Let me be clear here. So when you're doing your flight plan for your instrument check ride, make sure that you know what the lighting system is at the runways of intended landing. And for that matter, just know if you are going to be vectored to a different runway for wind conditions. Know what the lighting system is at the whole airport. It could always come up as a conversation. All right. What are on your check ride? Excuse me. What are NOTAMs? What are NOTAMs? Notices to airmen. NOTAMs. Notices to airmen. Time-critical aeronautical information, which is of either a temporary nature or not known sufficiently in advance to permit publication on aeronautical charts or in other operational publications. Receives immediate dissemination via the National NOTAM system. It is aeronautical information that could affect a pilot's decision to make a flight. It includes such information as airport or primary runway closures, changes in the status of navigational aids, ILSs, radar service availability, and other information essential to planned en route, terminal, or landing operations. Let's break down the types of NOTAMs. Explain the following types of NOTAMs. We have D NOTAMs, that's 1. FDC NOTAMs, that's 2. Pointer NOTAMs, that's 3. Military NOTAMs, that's 4. And SAA NOTAMs, that's 5. So we have 5 types of modems. 5 types of NOTAMs. Let's talk about that first NOTAM type, the D NOTAM. A D NOTAM is information that requires wide dissemination via telecommunication regarding en route navigational aids, civil public use airports listed in the Chart Supplement US, facilities, services, and procedures. FDC NOTAMs, flight information that is regulatory in nature. So FDC NOTAMs are regulatory in nature, including but not limited to changes to IFR charts, procedures, and airspace usage. Pointer NOTAMs. Pointer NOTAMs are issued by a flight service station, an FSS, to highlight or point out, hence the name Pointer NOTAM, to point out another NOTAM. For example, an FDC NOTAM. These NOTAMs assist users in cross-referencing important information that may not be found under an airport or NavAid identifier. Then we have number 4, military NOTAMs. These pertain to U.S. Air Force, Army, Marine, and Navy navigational aids or airports that are part of the NAS. SAA NOTAMs. Issued when special activity airspace, that's SAA, special activity airspace, will be active outside the published scheduled times and when required. SAA includes special use airspace, that's restricted area, military operations area or MOA, warning area, and alert area airspace. Instrument and visual military training routes, aerial refueling tracks, and anchors. All right. All D NOTAMs will have keywords contained within the first part of the text. What are several examples of these keywords? All right, these are runway, ROWY, taxiway, TWI, apron, APRON, AD. This would be a good list to check. We're not going to go over that right now in this oral review. Where can NOTAM information be obtained? Well, 1, call the call the flight service station at 1-800-WX-BRIEF. That would be number 1. 2, NOTAM search. That's notams.aim.faa.gov /NOTAM search. There you go. 3, flight service flight briefing website. So you just go right to the website. We're not calling the phone number, but go into the website, www.1800wxbrief.com. 4, flight information services. That's your FISB, FIS-B, via ADSBN. All right, the NOTAM D and NOTAM FDC, those regulatory ones, products broadcast via FISB, FISB, are limited to those issued or effective within the past 30 days, except for TFRs, and NOTAMs older than 30 days are not provided. How can a pilot obtain the latest GPS NOTAMs? A pilot can specifically request GPS aeronautical information from an FSS briefer during pre-flight briefings. Also, NOTAMs about known GPS service disruptions can be found at notams.aim.faa.gov /NOTAM search. Do make sure before your check ride to review all of the NOTAMs along your planned route of flight at your destination and at your planned alternate airport for any recent changes that might have occurred after chart publication. Be particularly alert for any changes to the IAPs, the instrument approach procedures you might be flying for your check ride. What do the NOTAM terms unreliable and may not be available indicate when used in conjunction with GPS and WASP NOTAMs? All right, so the terms unreliable and may not be available are cautions indicating that the expected level of service might not be available. Unreliable does not mean there is a problem with GPS signal integrity. If GPS service is available, pilots may continue operations. If the LNAV or LNAV VNAV service is available, pilots may use the displayed level of service to fly the approach. Now, the term may not be available is used in conjunction with WASP NOTAMs and indicates that due to ionospheric conditions, lateral guidance may still be available when vertical guidance is unavailable. Under certain conditions, both lateral and vertical guidance might be unavailable. This NOTAM language is a pilot advisory that the expected level of WASP service might not be available. All right, when flight planning an RNAV route, where should your route begin and end? All right, we're planning an RNAV route. Where should your route begin and end? Plan the random route portion of the flight plan to begin and end over appropriate arrival and departure transition fixes or appropriate navigation aids for the altitude stratum within which the flight will be conducted. The use of normal preferred departure and arrival routes, like DPs and stars, where established, is recommended.